Hello YouTubers and fellow hams, and whoever else might be watching. I haven't done a vlog entry in a little while, and I've had some people asking about that. And it's getting close to time to move, which is usually when I would do them. So yeah, it's later October. It's finally starting to get cooler here at Kingman, Arizona. Last night it actually got down to 48 degrees Fahrenheit, which is kind of chilly. I've been trying to do, for the last couple of weeks anyway, I've started trying to do a 3D video in the middle of the week and a ham video on the weekends. And this weekend's ham video is kind of a flop. I've been working on it off and on through the week and not having much success. I'll show it to you. This big heavy thing here is the Aubrey, however you pronounce it, HF plus vertical, loaded vertical. Kind of like an Outbacker. You've got these taps that you can move up the coil for different bands. This very short whip that goes on top. In fact, this right now is set where they want you to set it for 40 meters, and it's that long. That's not going to be a very efficient radiator at 40 meters because the coil doesn't radiate. That's, well, not much anyway. But I couldn't get it to resonate. I had a nice radial farm I set up for it, a ground spike that Harry from Zactec sent me. Thanks, Harry. But I couldn't get it to resonate. I got it to resonate on 40 meters. I think I saved that screenshot. It was like 3-to-1 SWR. I couldn't get it to resonate on 20 on the other bands. Going all through the extension of this, you know, you extend this to tune it. Going all the way through, it was way out of band in every case. I fiddled with the radials. I gave up. I spent $70 on this thing and I can't get it to work. Reteviz has one that's very similar to this. Looks a lot like it, but it's different. A few guys have done reviews on that, and it seems to work pretty well. So if you're looking for one of these things to put on your car or use portable, look at that Reteviz one. Don't bother with the Aubrey. So that was going to be this weekend's video, but that flopped. That happens. Anyway, I have been working on other things on the side. I've been rebuilding the capacitor assembly for my little magnetic loop. I got the capacitor out here. The printer is reprinting the platform to mount it to the PVC. And I've been working on a gear reduction drive to drive it. Herringbone gears I've designed from scratch in FreeCAD, my own design this thing's going to be. It's going to be a 8-to-1 transmission with 2 stages. I've got this little piece that I made for a test frame, but you can see how well those gears mesh. And this fancy looking thing here is a clutch. If you're going to have your capacitor inside of a box where you can't see it, you know, and you're cranking away on this to move up through the range, I'm going to have 2 stages on this for an 8-to-1 ratio, which means you could put a lot of torque on that capacitor. And if you hit the end stop while you're cranking, you could damage the capacitor. So I made a clutch. It's in here. If I hold the output shaft and I turn this gear, hear that? It releases. If there's enough torque, if you hit the end of the output shaft, instead of turning, if I squeeze this, it's a clutch. I made my own clutch. It's pretty cool. But I've been working on that off and on. It's going to be a kind of a adaptable thing that anybody could just put on the front of their own magnetic loop build and then have an 8-to-1 ratio so they could really fine tune it. So that's been a side project I'm getting close to having done, and I'll do a video on that when I get to it. But as I said, it's near the end of October. Normally at this time of year, I would already be down south in the winter spot near Yuma, Arizona. But I can't drive that far. I can barely drive into town for a doctor's appointment. I just don't have the energy yet. I'm still getting better month to month, but long COVID just takes forever to recover from. It's ridiculous. I have never been through anything like this in my life. But I'm getting there. It's getting better. I'm getting more productive. I've been doing a little bit more work lately. The last few weeks, you've seen a flurry of video releases. In fact, I've already got the midweek 3D video filmed. I just need to edit it, and it'll be out in a few days after this vlog. I'm gonna have some help, though, getting down to the winter spot. I've got a good friend of mine that's KD5TQY, Steve. He's going to come here to Kingman and have somebody drive his vehicle so that he can then drive my RV and drive me down there to the winter spot, 200 and some miles south of here. Probably in mid-November or early November. To get prepared for it, I need to take the RV into town and get an oil change and get a couple of new tires on the back. That's going to be expensive. And that's going to be a challenge, because I can drive it down there, but if they're going to take 2.5 hours, 3 hours to do the work, and I'm going to be sitting in a waiting room sitting up for that long, that's going to completely wipe me out. But we'll see how it goes. I got to get that done. And I hope that the old girl will make it. Something strange happened a few nights ago. I was laying in bed, getting ready to drift off to sleep, and all of a sudden a thud from below, and I felt this impact as if something hit the underside of the RV or whatever. I could feel it. Scared the heck out of me. I went outside with a flashlight and I got a dagger. It's about that long. It's a weapon, and I went out. Didn't know if it was going to be a coyote or something. And I looked and I looked and I looked and I couldn't find anything wrong. The only thing I can think is, well, there's a couple of possibilities that have come to mind with research and with thought and with talking to other people. One, my spare tire is back in the back underneath the back of the RV right below where the bed is. And it's a ratty old junkyard tire that I bought 6 years ago. Maybe it blew. Maybe a mouse was chewing on the cords and finally got through and it blew. That could be it. That's one possibility. The other possibility is the water tank is back there. It's a 40-gallon water tank, and the flooring underneath it is heavier wood. And somebody else said that they had a similar incident, and it was those wooden boards that support the water tank that one of them had given away. Which that could be the case too, and if that's the case, I'm in trouble, because I'd have to completely tear apart the back end of the RV to get to that, to repair it. And the walls on either side have dry rot and problems that were there before I bought the RV. It's kind of fallen apart. So if that support wood under the water tank is what failed, I'm in trouble. So I'm gonna hope when I get down to the tire place, I'm gonna have them replace 2 of the tires on the driver's side, the rear, the duals. They're dual tires. They're big 14-ply heavy duty tires. I'm gonna have them take the better of one of those and put it on the spare rim as a better spare. So we'll find out at that point when they pull out the spare tire if it blew. And I'm hoping that that's the case. I'm hoping that it just had a pocket that poof, because that would mean that the wood and the support back there is okay for the water tank. But if it's not, I could probably still go south. I'll just have to, when I put water in the tank, I'll just have to only put it halfway full or so and make two times the trips down to the water station that I would normally make. Find a way to get by. It's, it is what it is. Living in an RV is not so much different from living in a house, except you have less space, but you still have maintenance. You still have to fix things. In fact, I have a box right here that I just got in the mail. Ugh. This is the latch assembly for my door, which broke 2 weeks ago. I went to go outside and the door grabbed the handle and it didn't want to move. And I banged on it and it opened, and I went outside, and sometimes the outside one would jam up, sometimes the inside one would jam up, so I took it apart and there were some pieces of broken metal laying there in the mechanism. It's like, ah, crap. So I lubricated the heck out of it and it's been kind of working, but I could get locked out. I could come in through the driver's side or passenger side cab door, that's fine, I wouldn't get locked out, but that door's got to work, so I had to buy a new latch. And this is an old RV. It was hard to find the exact replacement, and it was expensive. It was over $100. So yeah, you still have maintenance, just like you do with a house. Things you have to fix and work on, and this is getting old. I got all kinds of stuff I still need to do. I need to replace the toilet. I need to fix part of a wall over there, and it's just constant work. But that's life. you know. Anyway, I don't want to blab too long. The plan is to, in a couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, to head south to the winter spot. So I've got a couple of videos lined up over the next week or two. We'll get 2 or 3 more videos in, and then there's going to be a pause because it's going to be moving time when I have to get down there. I get resituated, spend a little time saying hi to everybody that I haven't seen in almost 2 years now due to the illness, and I really miss my friends. So there'll be a pause. Probably the latter half of November. There might only be 1 or 2 videos, maybe only 1, as I get resituated back down there in the southern spot. And then I'll get right back to full production. And we'll keep the videos flowing. So that's your update, October 2024. And I guess we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're not already a subscriber, click to subscribe. Join us on the Facebook channel for discussion about the videos. And if you'd like to help support this channel, please click to support me on my Patreon page.